I never thought I'd end up mopping floors for a living. But then again, I never thought I'd bury my own soul to save a marriage that was already rotting from the inside. That day in the federal courthouse, with the judge's gavel cracking like a gunshot, I confessed to embezzling millions from my husband's hedge fund, not because I did it, but because Richard swore it was the only way to keep our family intact. For Lily, he whispered in the holding cell, his cologne masking the stench of lies, as if our 7-year-old daughter could ever forgive me for vanishing into the system. Little did I know, as the cell door slammed shut on Grace Harrington, powerhouse attorney turned felon, that Richard was already shacked up with my sister, Elise, turning our Upper East Side penthouse into their love nest, while Lily got shipped off to some godforsaken boarding school upstate. Prison was a special kind of hell, the kind that chews up your edges and spits out something jagged. Rikers Island didn't care that I'd graduated top of my class at Yale Law, or that I'd argued cases before the Supreme Court. To them, I was inmate 47892, scrubbing toilets and dodging shivs from women who'd sell their last cigarette for a story about the outside world. The betrayal hit hardest in the quiet hours, when the fluorescent buzz drilled into your skull like a bad hangover. Richard visited once, all pressed suits and crocodile tears, promising appeals and alibis. It's temporary, Grace. Just sign the plea, and we'll fix this. But his eyes darted to the guard's watch, and I caught the faint lipstick smear on his collar. Chanel Rouge, Elise's shade. My sister, the one who'd crashed every milestone in my life, from stealing my prom date to poaching my first big client. Blood, they say, is thicker than water, but it turns out it's thinner than ambition. Letters from Lily kept me sane at first. Her childish scrawl, dotted with crayons. Mommy, when you come home, can we bake cookies like before? Annalise says you're on a long trip. Annalise. That viper had swooped in like a vulture, filing emergency custody papers before my arraignment even cooled. By the time I was transferred to Bedford Hills, Lily's notes grew shorter, the paper crisp, and typed by some assistant. Annalise enrolled me in a special school for music. I miss you. Music. Lily had my fingers, long and nimble from years at the keys. Our Sunday ritual, Chopin under the Steinway in the sunroom. But then the letters stopped. A month into year 2, Richard's attorney delivered the news, an accident, during a family outing. Elise's SUV, a curve on the Taconic Parkway. Lily in the back seat without her booster because she's a big girl now. Shattered glass, a flipped vehicle, and when they pried her from the wreckage, her eyes, those bright hazel mirrors of mine, were gone forever. Blind. My baby girl, sightless at 9, because my sister was too busy texting Richard about their weekend getaway to watch the road. I shattered too, right there in the visitor's room, pounding the plexiglass until my knuckles bled. Richard cut off contact after that, his lawyer citing emotional distress. Whispers filtered through the prison grapevine, the hedge fund thriving, Richard knighted by Wall Street as the phoenix who rose from scandal, Elise playing stepmom in designer yoga pants, parading Lily like a tragic accessory at galas. Poor dears, such a burden after Grace's. Indiscretion. Indiscretion. That's what they called stealing my life, my child, my everything. I clawed through law books in the library, filing pro-se motions that judges shredded like confetti. Appeals denied, parole a joke for white-collar threats like me. By year 5, I was a ghost, haunting my own memories, plotting in the dark how I'd gut them both if I ever tasted freedom. Freedom came not from some bleeding heart pardon, but from a shadow in the yard. A wiry inmate named Doc, ex-biotech, was turned lifer for cooking meth in a lab coat. He peddled dreams to the desperate. Whispers of a black market clinic in the Pine Barrens, Jersey, where Russian immigrants with PhDs and no morals ran a side hustle in consciousness transfer. Body swaps, Gracie. He'd rasp over contraband smokes, eyes gleaming like he was selling oceanfront property. You wake up in someone new, clean slate, no tattoos, no record. But it costs. And it's one way. One way. The word hung like a noose, but so did the image of Lily, tapping her way through a world I'd condemned her to. Doc's Connect was legit, he'd swear, clients walking out as accountants, baristas, nobodies with paychecks and pulses. I scraped together commissary favors, smuggled cash from a sympathetic guard, and by year 7, I was out on a bullshit work release, funneled straight to a derelict warehouse off the turnpike. The procedure was a fever dream. Restraints on a gurney, for drips burning like firewater, Doc's voice fading as monitors beeped a dirge. Pick your ride, kid. Got a short order cook in Queens, a trucker in Ohio. Or this one, Tom Riley, 42, single dad, school janitor in Albany. Quiet life, no entanglements. Plays piano like an angel, they say. Albany. Close enough to the boarding school. No, the music academy Elise had bragged about in her last gloating postcard. Tom's file was thin. Widower, daughter died young, mops floors at Hudson Valley Prep by day, volunteers with the music program by night. Clean, unremarkable, perfect camouflage. Do it, I croaked, as the gas hissed sweet oblivion. Last thought. Lily's laugh, echoing from a life that wasn't mine anymore. I woke choking on dust, calluses cracking my palms as I flailed against a thin mattress in a shotgun shack that smelled of pine sol and regret. Mirror over the sink. Tom's face stared back, rugged jaw shadowed with stubble, blue eyes dulled by grief. A faded eagle's tattoo peeking from the neckline of a threadbare tee. 42 felt like 60 in this frame, joints grinding like rusted hinges. Grace Harrington was gone, archived in some server farm. I was Thomas Riley now, with his mortgage, his '98 Ford pickup, and a fridge stocked with TV dinners. No fanfare, no chase. The clinic's tech wiped the slate, forwarding mail, syncing habits. But memories? Those were mine, sharp as shrapnel. Richard's smirk, Elise's perfume, Lily's tiny hand in mine. First week was survival. Clocking in at the prep school, pushing a buffing machine down linoleum halls that echoed with trust fund twits and their electric futures. Albany's gray winters bit harder in this skin, snow sludging the boots I couldn't afford to replace. Nights, I'd finger the keys of Tom's upright piano in the living room, muscle memory failing until rage unlocked it, furious arpeggios that rattled the windows. That's when I found the ad. Hudson Valley Music Outreach, volunteers needed for visually impaired youth. Visually impaired. My gut twisted, but I signed up, telling myself it was recon, a way to sniff out Elise's web without tipping my hand. The first session was in the auditorium, a cavern of velvet seats and faded glory. 10 kids, ages 6 to 12, clustered around music stands like moths to a flame. And there she was, Lily, 9 going on ancient. White cane propped against her chair, dark curls framing a face that was all me. High cheekbones, stubborn chin. She wore a uniform too stiff for her, fingers tracing braille sheet music with a precision that screamed therapy, not joy. Our eyes, her empty, mine burning, locked in that meaningless way the blind do, and she tilted her head. You the new piano guy? Annalise said we'd get someone who knows Beethoven. Annalise. The name landed like a gut punch. Tom, swallowed the bile, sliding onto the bench beside her. Yeah, kid. Name's Tom. What's yours? As if I didn't know. As if every fiber of this stolen body didn't scream to scoop her up and run. Lily, she said softly, her voice a ghost of the one that used to beg for encores. I like the piano. It sees for me. We started simple. Scales, then a halting fur Elise, her small hands shadowing mine on the keys. The other kids drifted, but Lily stayed, her touch light, trusting, unaware that the rough-hewn janitor guiding her fingers was her mother, resurrected in drag, plotting the downfall of the woman who'd stolen her world. By session 3, it was routine, mop by day, melodies by night. Lily bloomed under the notes, humming off-key but fierce, her laughter a knife twisting in my chest. She'd chatter about Auntie E, how she hosted fancy teas with Uncle Richard, how they promised a guide dog if she practiced hard. Uncle Richard, my husband, siring no airs with my sister, but playing house in my shadow. I'd nod, Tom's gravelly voice murmuring encouragement, while Grace's mind mapped the exits, the school's security cams, Elise's donor plaques in the lobby, Richard's foundation logo etched on the grand piano. Intel trickled in. Lily's dorm mother griped about the missus over coffee, spilling how Elise drove up in a Bentley. All highlights in Hermes, dropping edicts like crumbs. Girl's got trauma, poor thing. But that family's got more skeletons than a med school. Skeletons. That's what I'd exhume. Back in the shack, I'd pore over Tom's ancient laptop, VPN through public Wi-Fi, digging into the life I'd lost. Richard's fund was a behemoth now, $2 billion AUM, toasted at Davos. Elise? Promoted to philanthropy director, rubbing elbows with senators, her Instagram a shrine to faux motherhood. Lily posed like a prop, cane artfully angled. The frame job was textbook. Forged emails from my IP, a Cayman shell company in my name, Richard's testimony sealing it. But cracks showed. A whistleblower blog, anonymous, hinting at the real thief in the Harrington heist. Close, but not enough. I needed inside leverage. Controversial? Hell, impersonating a deadbeat dad to groom my own kid for intel felt like small potatoes next to what brewed. The piano became our confessional, Lily's and mine. Hers spilling innocence, mine hoarding venom. Week 5, she arrived late, cheeks flushed from a scolding, came tapping erratically. Annalise was mad. Said I talked too much about you. Me. Tom. The janitor with grease under his nails and a backstory as thin as Tom's VA file. I coaxed her onto the bench, starting with a gentle nocturne, Chopin's Op. 9 whispering through the empty hall. What did I do to rate a mention? Casual, Tom's drawl masking Grace's calculation. Lily's fingers hesitated on middle C. You remind her of someone. The way you play. Like Mom used to before. Before. The word dangled, a live wire. I pressed, soft. Your mom play too? She nodded, unseeing eyes distant. Yeah, but she's gone. Bad people took her away 'cause she was bad too. Lies, layered like varnish on a coffin. Elisa's poison, seeping deep. I wanted to shatter the keys, scream that I was here, flesh of her flesh, but Tom's body betrayed me. Lump in the throat, sweat beading on a brow not mine. Instead, I switched to something lighter, heart and soul, our hands sinking in that old duet rhythm. Lily giggled, the sound a bomb and a brand. You're good at this, Tom. Like you get it, the dark parts. Dark parts. Kid had no idea. That night, in the shack's dim bulb glow, I escalated. Hacked Tom's library card for JSTOR access, cross-referencing Richard's SEC filings with Elise's nonprofit returns. Breadcrumbs led to a slush fund, laundered through Harrington Hope, Elise's charity for fallen women, ironic as a priest's porn stash. Millions funneled, donors whined, and at the center, a property deed for a vineyard estate, bought cash post my sentencing. My money, their playground. Revenge crystallized then, not as a blaze but a slow burn, surgical. Step 1. Bond deeper with Lily, mine intel on their routines. Step 2. Fabricate dirt, anonymous leaks to Richard's rivals. Maybe that SEC mole sniffing around. Controversial? Using a child as bait twisted my guts, but what was one more sin in a ledger full? Tom's life offered cover. Lonely widower, no ties, perfect patsy if things soured. Week 6, Lily brought sheet music, braille embossed, Claire de Lune. And he gave it to me. Said it'd make me strong like her. Strong. Elise, the climber who'd bedded my husband at our rehearsal dinner, toasting me with champagne laced with spite. I taught her the piece, note by aching note, her trusted drug I couldn't quit. School buzzed with prep for the spring recital, a black tie affair bankrolled by donors like Richard. I volunteered extra, buffing the stage under work lights, eavesdropping on faculty lounge gripes. Harringtons are golden geese, checks in, drama stays out. Drama. If they only knew. One evening, post-lesson, Lily lingered, tracing the piano's grain. Tom, do you believe in second chances? Her voice small, laced with the weight of therapy sessions I could picture, some overpaid shrink billing Elise's card. For bad people? I froze, Tom's rough hand hovering. Depends, kid. Some deserve M. Others. Gotta pay the piper first. Pay the piper. Fitting, for the symphony of deceit-eyed conduct. The swap's after-effects crept in then. Phantom itches where Grace's tattoos used to be, a discreet vine on my hip, now Tom's flab. Dreams of courtrooms morphing into mop closets. Doc had warned. Echoes, kid. Fight M or fold. I fought, channeling into runs along the Hudson, pounding pavement until lungs burned in this heavier frame. Tom's past surfaced too. Wife OD'd on pills 5 years back, left him with debts and demons. Suicide note blamed the grind, but folders hid oxycodone scripts, a dealer contact. Leverage? Or liability? I torched the evidence in a backyard pit, ashes scattering like old skin. Elise's first sighting was a gut shot. Recital rehearsal, doors burst open, click of Louboutins on tile. There she was, my sister, ageless in a sheath dress that screamed Fifth Avenue, arm linked with Richard, silver-foxed now, paunch straining his Tom forward. Lily perked, waving blindly. Auntie, uncle, come meet Tom. He's teaching me the hard parts. They approached, Elise's smile a scalpel, Richard's handshake firm but eyes cool, appraising the janitor like yesterday's help. Charmed, she purred, southern lilt she'd faked for boarding school. Up close, the resemblance hit. Same nose, same laugh lines, but hers twisted cruel. Lily raves about you, Mr. Riley. Quite the talent for a custodian. The barb landed, but I, Tom, grinned, doffing an imaginary cap. Just passin' time, ma'am. Kid's a natural. Richard grunted approval, clapping Lily's shoulder. Recital's your big night, princess. Make us proud. Us. The word festered. As they air-kissed and exited, Elise lingered, eyes narrowing on our joined hands at the keys. Careful, Tom. Attachments get messy. Warning or flirt. With her, lines blurred. That night, I tailed them, Tom's pickup blending into traffic, to a gated manse in Loudonville, lights blazing for a donor dinner. Binocs from a Walmart stakeout kit revealed caterers, champagne flutes, Lily shuttled to a sitter. My plan sharpened, crashed the recital, not as Tom, but a ghost. Anonymous tip to the press about Harrington Hope's irregularities, time to drop mid-aria. But Lily complicated it. Next lesson, she arrived tear-streaked, cane splintered from a fall. Auntie says I'm clumsy. Like Mom was. Clumsy. Grace Harrington, felled by her own heel? No, the frame was flawless, but cracks. A server log I'd memorized, time-stamped from Richard's office during our anniversary dinner. Elise's doing, no doubt, hacking my laptop while I nursed a migraine. Lily's hurt ignited the fuse. Hey, I murmured, mending the cane with duct tape. Your mom's no klutz. She's a fighter, waiting to come back. Lily's face crumpled. You think? Know it. Liar prophecy. In Tom's mirror later, I practiced. Deeper voice, slouched posture. But Grace leaked through, steel in the spine, fire in the gut. The swap's toll mounted, migraines like cluster bombs, flashes of Rikers overlaying Albany snow. Doc's voice echoed, body rejects sometimes. Adapt or atrophy. Adapt. I did, weaving Tom's habits, craft beers at the VFW, nodding to Pat's games on the radio, while plotting Grace's war. Recital loomed, a stage for more than music. I'd plant the seed. A USB in Richard's coat pocket, found, during cleanup, loaded with reconstructed evidence. Wire transfers, affair texts pulled from deleted clouds. Controversial? Framing the framer felt poetic, but risking Lily's spotlight? That nod, a moral quagmire where ends justified means, or so I told the dark. Week 8, Lily nailed Claire de Lune, her performance a revelation. Poise amid chaos, fingers dancing blind. Applause thundered, but her first bow went to me, whispered, for you, Tom. My secret weapon. Secret, if only. Post-show, mingling donors swarmed, Richard holding court, Elise preening. I hovered, mop in hand, close enough to overhear. Darling, the girl's a star. Just like her auntie. Richard's chuckle, low. Or her mother, if Grace hadn't cracked. Cracked. The word ignited. I slipped the USB into his overcoat rack, heart hammering in Tom's chest. As they swept out, Lily trailing, she paused, hugging my waist. Come to dinner sometime? Auntie says you're family now. Family. The irony burned sweeter than bourbon. Dinner invite? Bait or blunder? Elise's text came next morning. Tom's burner buzzing on the nightstand. Lily insists. Sunday, 6 p.m. Black tie optional. For you, casual. Smiley emoji, venom veiled. Trap? Likely. Her radar pinging the janitor too cozy with her charge. But entry to the lion's den, priceless. I prepped like a deposition. Tom's flannel ironed crisp, Grace's mind scripting deflections. The manse was Versailles on steroids. Marble foyer, Basquiat on walls, Lily's wing, a gilded cage with adaptive tech and zero warmth. She greeted me at the door, giggly in a smock dress, cane tucked away. You came. Come see my room. It's got a player piano. Elise played hostess flawless. Heirloom china, rack of lamb bleeding rare. Richard at table head dissecting markets like cadavers. Riley, right? Irish stock. His probe casual, but eyes probed. Old litigator instinct, mine now foreign. Yes, sir. Boston born, Albany broke. Laughter rippled, Elise's trill sharp. Lily dominated dessert, regaling with recital anecdotes, her hand finding mine under the table. Tom's the best teacher. He gets the sad songs right. Sad songs. Richard's fork paused. Sad, huh? Life's got plenty. Your mom's specialty, God rest her. Rest her. I gripped the linen, knuckles whitening Tom's tan. Post-meal, segregation. Men to the study for scotch and stocks, women to the sunroom for girl talk. I demurred, claiming dish duty, eavesdropper's perch. Richard's voice carried. Funds up 15%. That China play paid off. China. The shell company, rerouted laundered funds. I filed it, pouring Merlot with steady hands. Lily wandered in, escaping Elise's etiquette lesson. Tom, play for me. The big piano. The Steinway. Mine, shipped from the penthouse, mocking. I obliged, launching into Debussy's arabesque, notes curling like smoke. She swayed, eyes closed in that inward sight, while shadows shifted. Elise in the doorway, arms crossed, Richard behind, glass in hand. Touching, Elise drawled, gliding in. Almost paternal. Paternal. The subtext slithered, warning off a blue-collar crush? Or sensing the swap's fracture? Richard joined, clapping slow. Not bad, Riley. Ever think of teaching full-time? Patronizing, but probing employment, vetting the threat. Lily beamed. He could. Mom would have loved him. Silence dropped like a curtain. Elise recovered first. Sweetheart, bedtime. Tom's got early rounds. Hugs exchanged, promises of lessons, and I was ushered out, Tom's pickup crunching gravel under security lights. Drive home. Adrenaline crashed into dread. The USB? Planted, but retrieval? Risky. Next day at school, Lily cornered me in the hall, voice hushed. I heard them fighting after you left. Auntie said you're trouble. What's that mean? Trouble. Grace's middle name. Means grown-ups are dumb, kid. Ignore it. But I couldn't. That night, deep web dives yielded gold. Richard's mistress logs. Not just Elise, but a string pre-frame, payoffs to silence. My indiscretion, cover for his Ponzi edges. Elise, complicit, forging docs while I lawyered his messes. Lily's accident, texts time-stamped. Distracted, are calling about G's appeal. FML. My appeal, her negligence. Plan evolved. Leak selective, cripple without killing. SEC tip line, anonymous, with just enough to trigger audit. Controversial calculus. Lily's stability collateral. If Elise crumbled, foster care loomed. If Richard folded, alimony drought. But justice? Blind as my girl. Week 10, storm hit. Nor'easter blanketing Albany in white fury. School closed, but Lily's emergency lesson summoned. Elise stranded in NYC. Richard golfing Scottsdale, sitter snowed out. Tom's truck plowed through drifts to the manse. Lily waiting with cocoa and scores. Play duets all night. We did. Beethoven sonatas till fingers cramped. Her head on my shoulder, trusting as a lamb. Mid-moonlight sonata, she confessed. I dream of Mom. She's in a dark place, but she plays to find me. Heart fractured. She's trying, Lily. Harder than you know. Power flickered, storm raging outside. And in that blackout intimacy, I cracked. Your mom didn't do what they say. She took the blame for him. Him. Richard. Lily stilled. Uncle. Yeah. And your aunt. Helped. Poison pill, but truth serum. She absorbed, silent. Then why tell me? Because you're strong. Like her. Storm broke at dawn. Power humming back, but the rift yawned. Elise returned midday, feral. What the hell, Riley? Babysitting without clearance. Lily defended, fierce. He's family. Family. Echoed my lie. Elise fired me on spot. Volunteer gig axed. Access severed. Rage boiled, but calculation cooled. Now the ghost. I ramped leaks. Burner email to ProPublica, docs attached. Harrington heist, the real inside job. Hits mounted, headlines trickled. Wall Street Titan faces probe. Richard's stock dipped, Elise's charity audits loomed. Lily's notes smuggled via dorm mail. Miss you. They fight more. Love L. Isolation nod. Tom's life a cage within a cage. VFW beers blurred edges, but Grace plotted. Deeper hack, into Richard's cloud. Voicemails, Elise hissing. Grace knew too much. The frame was mercy. Mercy. My blindness. Climax brewed at the Winter Gala, Harrington Hope's marquee event. Black tie, Elisters, Lily performing. Invite. Forged. Tom's name on donor list via petty cash skim. I'd attend as community supporter. Corner them amid caviar and chaos. Gala night. Tux rented. Tom's frame swimming. Grace's poise stiffening the spine. Ballroom glittered. Chandeliers dripping light on tuxes and gowns. Lily on stage. Fur Elise flawless. Cane aside. Standing ovation. Pride warred with pity. Richard schmoozed. Sweat beading. Elise brittle. Scanning press. I approached post-set. Champagne flute raised. Fine show Harringtons. Kid's a prodigy. Recognition flickered. Elise's eyes narrowing. Richard's polite chill. Riley. Slumming. Observing. Heard about the SEC chit-chat. Rough. Elise paled. Mind your mops. But Lily rushed over, hugging legs. Tom. You came. Chaos crested. Reporters cornered Richard, mics thrusting questions. Embezzlement ties? He blustered. Elise herding Lily away. I followed to the valet, Tom's bolt blocking. Tell her the truth, Elise. About the road. The texts. Her face ashen. Who are you? Someone you buried. Richard lunged, but security swarmed. Tips I planted, badges flashing. Cuffs clicked, flashes popped, Lily wailing. Interrogation room, Albany PD. They grilled Tom Riley, janitor with a grudge. Motive? None officially. But Grace's prep shown. Alibis airtight, evidence digital ghosts. Bail set, headline screamed. Harrington empire crumbles. Elise lawyered up, Richard silent. Lily placed with neutral kin, a great aunt in Boston. Me? Back to mops, but visits approved. Uncle Tom, she called me now, duets resuming in neutral turf. Spring thawed Albany slow, but my war heated fast. Richard's arraignment was theater, suited sharks circling, paparazzi frenzy outside the courthouse I'd once owned. I watched from Tom's pickup, parked curbside, radio crackling updates. Plea denied. Harrington to stand trial. Good. Elise dodged charges initial. Philanthropy veil thick, but my leaks nod. IRS audits on hope. Donors fleeing like rats. Lily thrived in Boston. Weekly calls her lifeline. Auntie's house was cold, Tom. Here it's warm. When can you visit? Soon, I promised, while plotting the kill shot. Controversy brewed in mirrors. Was I avenger or abductor? Bonding with Lily as Tom blurred lines. Her uncle, a Frankenstein of father-mother, stitched from stolen flesh. Dreams worsened. Grace clawing from Tom's skin, screaming at shadows. Doc's warning rang. Rejection's a bitch. Some swap back, messy. Messy. Like the gala fallout. Elise's PI digging Tom's past, sniffing the widow's OD. Leverage? She'd spin it. A fair cover for the frame. I countered. Anonymous post to a true crime forum. The janitor knows. Harrington's blind spot. Threads exploded. Podcasters circling. Summer hit humid. School out. Tom's overtime drying ditches for rec fields. Lily's visit scheduled. 2 weeks at the shack. Enrichment approved by courts. Preparation frenzy. Air mattress aired. Piano tuned. Fridge stocked with organics she'd never tasted in Elise's regime. Arrival day, Boston bus depot. She bounded off, cane swinging, great aunt waving farewell. Hug crushed ribs. Home Tom. Shack reeked of paint. Fresh coats hiding ghosts. But her nod sold it. Like a fort. Days blurred idyllic. Mornings at the lake. Fingers in clay for adaptive art. Afternoons duets. Her tackling Rachmaninoff. Me marveling at resilience. Nights, stories. Tom's tall tales of Fenway. Grace's veiled truths. Once, a lady lawyer fought dragons for her girl. Lily puzzled, like mom. Exactly. But undercurrent pulled. News alerts pinged. Richard's trial date set. Elise testifying, immunity deal. Immunity? For ratting kin? Rage simmered, spilling in a midnight rant, alone. You bitch, you blinded her for a Birkin? Twist struck week 1. Lily's medical file, slipped in her bag. Annual checkup notes from Elise's doc. Trauma-induced blindness. Potential for experimental reversal via neural implants. Pending stability. Reversal. Sight back. Cost. $500,000, offshore clinic. Richard's slush, funneled through hope. Elise knew. Dangled it as carrot, withheld as stick. My girl, healable, pawned for silence. Fury crested. I'd fund it. Bleed the fund dry. Hack escalated. Phishing Richard's jail comms. Accessing accounts. Transfers siphoned. $50,000 here, donation there. Controversial? Theft to right theft, but Lily's eyes, worth damnation. Elise struck back. Custody petition, claiming Tom's instability. Widower woes, low wage, inappropriate attachment. Hearing loomed. Family court in Schenectady. I lawyered pro bono via old contacts. Grace's ghost whispering objections. Testimony day. Elise in Chanel. Tearful. He's obsessed, Your Honor. My niece deserves better. Lily, sworn, faltered. Auntie. Tom's my family. Judge leaned sympathetic, but Elise's affidavits. PI report on Tom's erratic behavior. Tilted scales. Visitation restricted. Return to Boston mandated. Lily's goodbye wrecked me. Fight for me, Tom. Like Mom would. Fight. Trial week. I infiltrated as witness consultant. Backdoor via a crooked bailiff. Bribed with Tom's savings. Courtroom reeked of polished oak and panic. Richard slumped. Defense flailing. Prosecution star. My forged emails, but cross-cracked. Server logs tampered. Timestamps off. Elise took stand. Immunity shield gleaming. Grace was greedy. I covered for Lily. Lies slithered, but I palmed the recorder under bench, capturing her whisper to counsel. The kid's implant fund? Leverage if he flips. He, Richard. My husband. Selling sister for freedom. Post-recess. Chaos. I discovered the recorder. Anonymous dropped to DA. Adjournment. Headlines. Betrayal bombshell. Harrington sister spills. Elise arrested mid-stride. Cuffs clashing pearls. Richard crumbled. Plea bargain inked. 20 years. Assets frozen. Fund liquidated. Proceeds to victims. Me. First in line, but as Grace? Tom's claim thin. I filed quiet. Restitution wired to a blind trust for Lily's surgery. Fall leaves turned. Lily prepped for implants. My siphoned cash bridging gaps. Airport send-off. Her hug fierce. You'll always be dad to me. Dad. The word hollowed. Swap's curse complete. Back to mops, but lighter. Richard's empire ash. Elise's facade cracked. Yet hollowness gnawed. Revenge tasted flat. Lily's uncle a half measure. Winter whispered twist. Doc's contact surfaced. Clinic calling collect. Echoes strong. Riley? We can reverse. Back to Grace. Clean. Reverse. Original body preserved. Cryogenic or some sci-fi shit. Cost. Soul deep. Take it. Reclaim life. Lawyer again. Full custody? Or stay Tom. The dad who mended more than keys? Lily's surgery success. First blurry shapes. Then colors. Her call ecstatic. I see the world, Tom. It's beautiful. Choice loomed. Controversial core. Abandon the shell that saved her, or cling to the lie that loved her. Grace yearned for courtrooms. Tom, for duets, unending. Christmas came cruel. Albany's lights mocking the void. Lily's post-op photos flooded email. Hazel eyes wide. Tracing ornaments. Great aunt beaming. Mary, from your girl. Mary. I'd funded the miracle, but as what? Tom's card signed Uncle. Grace's heart aching. Reverse offer festered. Clinic's pitch. One session, back to skirts and power. Harrington's out in 5 with good behavior. Claim her. Sue for custody. Claim her. My body, my name, my vengeance complete. But Lily's voice echoed. Dad. The bond forged in deception, unbreakable. New Year's. Gala echoes haunted. I'd crashed their world, toppled thrones. But cost? Elise's cell scrawls leaked. Suicide watch. Rants of stolen sister. Richard's letters, contrite. I loved you, Grace. The frame. Panic. Panic. For a kingdom built on my bones. Forgiveness? Nah. But absolution? Maybe for Lily. I visited her. Boston brownstone crisp with snow. She ran, saw. Into arms, describing Tom's face. Rugged, like a hero. Hero. We played. Her sight guiding keys now. Duets harmonious. Decision night. Eve of surgery reversal. Shack lit by laptop glow. Pros cons tabulated like a brief. Choice pros cons. Stay Tom Lily's dad. Stable life. No scandal reboot forever fraud. Aging body. Lost identity. Revert Grace power back. Legal claim. Full motherhood trauma rekindled. Lily's confusion. Swap stigma. Debatable ends. Heroic sacrifice or selfish reclaim. Dawn broke. Call to clinic. Cancel. Tom's voice. Grace's resolve. Letters drafted. To Lily. Truth veiled. A man loved you like your mom would. To Richard. Rot. To Elise. Blind now. Fitting. Spring recital redux. Lily soloing. Sight restored. Crowd roaring. I clapped from wings. Tom's tears unashamed. Post-bow. She dedicated. To Tom, my eyes in the dark. Elise paroled early. Slunk to Florida anonymity. Richard appealed endlessly. Shadow of himself. Me? Promoted to maintenance supervisor. Piano lessons paying tuition for nieces and nephews. Ending? No tidy bow. Revenge sated the beast, but hollowed the man. Lily thrives, eyes alight, unaware her uncle birthed her fire. Happy? For her, yes. Tragic? For the woman I buried, perhaps. Debate the scales. Did the swap redeem or damn? I play on, keys whispering secrets only the blind can hear. Truths reversed in a life stolen back. Was it worth the skin? Every callus says yes. Every phantom itch, maybe not. But Lily sees. And in her gaze, grace lives.